Dun 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 Shows World.
Welcome to Shows World Gamers. Josh here, and it is once again that time of the week. That's right, as this week draws to a close, I wanted to take a moment to look at some of the biggest video game news stories from this last week. We're also going to take a look at some of the biggest gaming announcements that took place over this last week, and of course, this week's biggest video game releases that you're definitely not going to want to miss. But do me a quick favor, if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join in on the fun. Alright gamers, let's kick off this week in review with a few news stories. And we are going to start with a crossover that has been taking the gaming world by storm, as the long-rumored crossover between Fortnite and The Simpsons was officially announced, and then launched, bringing Simpsons characters and cosmetics to the game, along with Springfield, USA, with all the familiar locations from the iconic series. The new edition has been met with a ton of fanfare, even from non-Fortnite fans, as I have repeatedly heard people proclaiming they would be jumping into the game for the first time or returning after a long hiatus to experience the Simpsons content. So I think this is an absolute win. This is one of those additions in that deal that we talked about a year ago between Disney and Fortnite, where they're going to be bringing a ton of Disney stuff to Fortnite. So, hey, this may just be the start, and it's off to a pretty good start. Now, we have gotten some super impressive sales updates for the Nintendo Switch 2 as it continues to break sales records with the fastest start ever to a console's life. The Switch 2 has surpassed 10.36 million units, and that number was actually only through the month of September. Also, Mario Kart World has already surpassed 10.9, meaning it's pretty safe to say at this point it's probably well over 11 million units. Now, these numbers are impressive, but we are now moving into the holiday season, and we just had the release of Pokemon Legends ZA, which, from what all the reports are saying, is off to an absolute huge start. So, how big will these numbers be at the end of the console's first year? Time will tell, but I feel it's safe to say it is going to be historic. Now, in some really cool news out of Sony, they did launch a huge new update for the PlayStation Portal that is, if you have PlayStation Plus Premium, it's super awesome. The update adds cloud streaming to the handheld, offering the ability to play a huge library of PlayStation games without the console being connected to a PlayStation 5 console. Now, early news is that the cloud streaming does run pretty well. I have not tried it on our portal yet. I usually kind of stay away from cloud streaming, as only using it as a last resort, as the performance is, it's usually pretty rough. I do believe this is more kind of Sony testing out different possibilities and features for their upcoming rumored handheld console, but we'll probably jump in and check it out, so I'll let you guys know what I think of it. Next up, let's take a look at some gaming announcements. And we're going to start with Warhammer Survivors. That's right, Warhammer Survivors received an official announcement trailer this week, with the game scheduled to release in 2026. This is a Vampire Survivors style survival game, but in the world of Warhammer, which, personally, I think that sounds absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get my hands on this. The only problem is, it's not coming out till 2026. If this game was available right now, I would absolutely be playing it. Now, this game style is very popular right now, with similar games dropping, it seems like, daily and weekly. So hopefully genre fatigue doesn't kill this one by the time it's ready for release next year, but I'm looking forward to it, and I'll definitely check it out when it releases. Now, in a pretty disappointing release date / delay announcement, we did get yet another delay announcement and a brand new release date for Terminator 2D No Fate, with the game now scheduled to release on the Nintendo Switch consoles, PlayStation, PC, and Xbox systems on December 12th. That classic 2D action game looks awesome, and rumors has it that the delay issue is not indicative of any issues with the actual game itself, but instead it has to do with production of the physical versions, as they seem intent on releasing both the digital and physical versions simultaneously. But hey, they're kind of running up against it. Hopefully they can get this out in the holiday season. I think it'll help a lot. Now, Odds Chronicles received an official announcement trailer this week showing off a strategy puzzle game with kind of a cool board game style aesthetic, and it's coming to the Nintendo Switch consoles as well as PC next year in 2026. The game is actually a tactical roguelite RPG where dice rolls determine the outcome of battles and story events. In the game, you take control of Evern, a former royal bodyguard, as well as other unlockable heroes as they fight through a fallen kingdom using dice to generate resources for abilities. Alright gamers, let's finish up with this week's new video game releases. And after some absolutely just stacked weeks, little light this week, but we did get a huge Switch 2 release. That's right, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, released this week exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2. The Legend of Zelda spin-off game in the style of the Dynasty Warriors games, where you take on hordes of bad guys, is a huge improvement over the previous Hyrule Warriors games with better frame rates, better visuals, the game's faster, and there's just so much more here. This is definitely the best version of Hyrule Warriors games to date. The game tells the story of the imprisoning war that preceded The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Players will fight as characters like Princess Zelda and King Rauru against Ganondorf's forces using a combination of signature abilities and Zonai devices. Now, Dinkum also released this week on the Nintendo Switch consoles, and I think it released about a week or two ago on PC. The game, which has been branded by some as an Animal Crossing game in Australia, it's pretty fun. We played it here on the channel. In the game, it is a survival and life simulation game that, well, it is in fact set in the Australian outback. Players can farm, hunt, mine, fish, and build a town. I did play an early version of the game here, like I said, and we uploaded that video on the channel. I had some fun with it. It's definitely not on par with Animal Crossing, but it's kind of like an Animal Crossing light, and there's definitely some fun to be had here. There's some differences to Animal Crossing that kind of keeps it fresh, so if you like that style of game, I would give this one a shot. There is a demo available. That's what we played. You can check out our video, check out the demo yourself, see if this is one you want to pick up. Now, also a game that I've been pretty excited about, kind of flying under the radar, I haven't heard anybody else talk about this game, is House Fighters Total Mess. It released this week on consoles, joining the PC version, which released a few weeks ago, making the game available on Nintendo Switch consoles, PlayStation, and Xbox. The game is an aerial arcade shooter where players control toy planes in everyday house environments like bedrooms and just parts of a house. It's a lot of fun as you battle it out in fast-paced dogfights, narrative-driven missions, and you customize your aircraft. And this is another one we played I'm not sure which version we did the video on. It wasn't the Switch 2. I think there is a demo for Switch 2 now, but we did do a video on this one and checked it out, and I had some fun with it, so definitely check out that video also. Alright gamers, that concludes the week in review for the week ending on November 7th. The week started with us having an absolute blast as we continue replaying the original must-have launch game for the Nintendo GameCube as we got Luigi's Mansion added to the Nintendo Switch online service, and I love this game and it is fun jumping back into it after all this time, and it holds up pretty well. The visuals look good and it plays nice. I highly suggest jumping in and checking this out if you have NSO. Then we started hearing rumors that, well, the first trailer for the theatrical Super Mario Bros. Movie 2 will be dropping this month and may be revealed in theaters ahead of showings of Wicked 2, which does release on November 21st. And the week ended with the holidays upon us, and, well, I'm jumping into the new Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer video game. Don't have super high hopes for this, but I just love that classic. It takes me back to my childhood. So we're going to play this game here on the channel, so definitely stay tuned to the channel for our full playthrough coming soon. But let me know anything we may have missed in the comments, and thanks for joining us today, gamers. If this is your first time, hit that subscribe button, and do us a huge favor, hit that like button, and we hope to see you on the next one. Shows World, out.